space, I can also recognize and know that what is meant to be with me, what is meant to help me grow, will always come back. What you are not done with will always come back to you, good or bad. It's also part of the reason I've never really been an avid note taker, is because I know that the information, the energy is going to come up in my brain at the exact moment that it's necessary for it to come through. It develops a deeper level and a deeper sense of self-trust. So when you can be in that space with yourself, go ahead and let yourself see what is the energy that you are inviting into your space. What is the energy that you are kind of pickling yourself in? And how is it that you can once again connect in with that grounding cord and just release it? Beautiful. I just saw that black dark energy turn to like an olive green color. There we go, creating a nice little kind of a whirlpool vortex energy below the energy of our container today. It looks like today we're going to be working through this, a lot of that, the hesitation, the things that will hold us back, the obstacles. I'm definitely seeing where there are some being influences that are coming in that are not in alignment with the highest and good. And so asking for archangels, Archangel Michael, Uriel, Haniel, Zadkiel, Sandalphon. There we go. Thank you for protecting and guarding our space, allowing that energy to flow freely as we release and bring ourselves into a higher vibration of conscious awareness and potential for what it is that we are creating and bringing into this world. So love yourself first. Love yourself fully. Just really give yourself permission to connect in with your heart space as we go through this class, knowing that the consciousness of your heart is stronger than the consciousness of any other area of your body, your intuition or your mind, your intelligence. So allowing the consciousness of your heart to really transmute any and all energy that comes up, that as you feel a tinge of pain, as you feel a tinge of judgment, as you feel a tinge of hesitation or resentment or remorse or whatever it is that's coming into your space, go ahead and simply send it into your heart, knowing that your heart has the capabilities to transmute any and all energy, any and all frequencies that go through it. This is the transmutation and the power of love. All right. There we go. I am going to go ahead and we'll just do some quick check-ins and see where everyone is at and what it is that you specifically need, because I personally have been feeling just really beautiful and massive shift energy, that the shift energy is an opening, that it isn't so much this real internal digging as we've had with Mercury retrograde in the pre-shadow, the post-shadow phase, as well as into the new moon that or the full moon that we had 2 days ago. But that the shift is energetically that there is an opening. It is the expansion to the contraction. Will there be more contractions this year? Yes, there will, because 2018 is the upheaval of the stuff that isn't coming. So allowing that to happen, but know that as we are stepping into this upswing, allowing that energy to open up and to surrender so that we're not fighting the current. And so that really is what our class is going to be today about, is about recognizing when it's time to hold back, when it is time to kind of nest in, when it is time to cultivate and rest and see what it is that you need. And then when it's time to just hit that springboard and pew, go for it. And so I just want to talk about the timing of your internal clock and working with the energy of the planet, the planetary alignments, as well as just your own joy. That for me is the priority. Your internal and personal joy. So Anna or Christina, let me just read the periwinkle. I'm going to be at Sparkle Fuchsia. All right. So, and happy May, you guys. Mayday. And by you guys, I mean you beautiful lady. All right, Anna, would you like to check in first?
Sure. Good morning, girls. I'm so happy to be here. I feel like I have plateaued a little bit. Everything was so good, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to do anything. I just want to stay right here because it feels so good. So I kind of just basked in that a little bit after the retreat. And then now I feel myself hitting some upper limits, and I feel it in my body. I did something crazy to my shoulder, and I can't lift my left shoulder this way. So there's something going on with my left shoulder and my low back. And it was so funny because I'm like, I'm just going to trust that I won't need to use my shoulder when I go to work. And we had 48 hours of almost no calls. And it was totally fine. I mean, that never, ever happens. So it was really cool. And then right now, I just need like a list of exact steps that I need to do to like get a business license. I went to that website, Samantha, that you gave me, and it came up with all these different options, and I was just like, oh gosh, I don't even know. So I kind of closed it and haven't looked at it again. Okay. But I would like to do that today.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to go back and go through it.
Yeah.
Okay. You just gotta pick one.
Yeah.
You know, the list that they have, it's like maybe 25 professions. That's like the most ridiculous list to get your business license. You just have to pick the one that's like closest to it.
Well, it went to whatever when I asked you about it and you said I needed a lawyer for it.
Oh, that's for the LLC. You don't need that.
Okay, so I don't know the difference between an LLC and a business license. Is an LLC a type of business?
No. Well, it's how you file for taxes.
Okay.
So a sole proprietorship is that you own the business, that you are the owner, that is it. Now, the thing about the sole proprietorship is that when you're running it on your own, and let's just hypothetically say that you work with a client and they decide to sue you, that they then they can go after your personal property. So when you're like, at this point, when you're doing like 3-month offerings and you're working with people and you're exchanging less than $2,000, it's like the worst that could happen is they could ask for a refund and you just give them their money back. Like that's pretty much it. But so for me, once I LLC'd once I launched the Earth Angels program,
okay,
because I didn't want, like, let's say someone in the Intuitive Connection Academy got upset and decided that they wanted to try to sue me. I did not want anything within my Earth Angels program to be exposed.
Okay.
So you can then, so I LLC'd Samantha Faye International, so that's different. And then within that you have series. And so within the series, you can have them protected, but you're not there yet. So right now, just start with the sole proprietorship.
Okay.
That basically is just for your own tax purposes. So you can start writing off your expenses. You can write off your computer. You can write off the Earth Angels program. You can write off all of these things when you have a business license. If you don't have the business license, you can't justify it.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. So that's why it is like, it's step one. And still, even you can write off things that you did before you got the business license as startup costs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like the dates have to start like, then it's, okay, now you got your business license, you can write stuff off. It's more like you just have to get it so that within that tax year, you can start putting things in that.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. So
you know what I would recommend? Sorry.
Yes.
I have an accountant that just knows all of that, and she just did everything for me. Like, I'm incorporated. So if I do another one, it would start like a sole proprietorship, because there's so many ins and outs and every state is different and stuff too. But me personally, I didn't want to deal with that shit. So I was like, just tell me what to do. Find somebody that I trusted to like just literally set it up for me.
Okay.
Because I just can't focus on that because it takes away from, that's just me personally.
Yeah. See, and I've done that and I got my ass handed to me by trusting the wrong people. Okay. So I had to learn all of it, which I actually like. And I probably got my ass handed to me on that so that I could learn it so that I could teach you guys. Because I did have to, and I mean, and Christina's totally right. It is different per state. but for the state of Nevada. You are eventually also going to want to get a city of Reno business license.
Okay.
They have a ton of hoops to jump through.
Okay.
And so just take it one step at a time.
Okay.
Just one step at a time. I think the sooner you do it, the easier it is. But it's kind of one of those things where it's like, are you really going to get investigated for not having a city of Reno business license? And that's where it kind of gets into this funky gray area. I didn't have a city of Reno business license for the first year and a half, honestly, because I didn't know I had to have one.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that's a thing.
So
I guess I'll have to go get one.
Not in remote.
So I don't think that it really is it's for tax purposes.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. And what I do think is important is to have a lawyer that's on your team, and to also have an accountant that's on your team, and to also have a personal banker that's on your team.
Okay. Do I need those right now?
I would say that it would be good to start. Like, do you know any lawyers?
Yeah, I know exactly who I'm going to ask.
Yeah, just start making the connections. Just being like, hey, I'm starting a business. Like, my lawyer writes all my contracts. He looks into copywriting laws and that sort of stuff for me. And then he also is the one, like, you have to have a lawyer LLC your business and set up the series. They have to write all the documentation for that. So it is good to just have somebody on your team that that you can call to ask these questions to, that can also actually execute those things.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And then the accountant, that's also, do you have an accountant?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Yeah. Yes. So your accountant can also, like, if you get a good accountant, can also help you just kind of throw around some business ideas or structure your business, that sort of thing. So talking to them is going to be a good thing. I personally have been SOL on my luck with accountants. I finally just hired a new one last week, so I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders there. But it's like, honestly, having these people in place that have your back, that you can trust, that you can lean on, that you can ask questions to, it takes a lot of just stress, kind of like Christina's saying, like, she didn't want to deal with any of it. And that is amazing to have those people on your team that you can trust, so that Christina can focus on what it is that she's good at. Cool. I also personally think, like, these things are happening so that as a business coach, that I need to know the business things. And so it's like the battle wounds, the scars, the things that come up, it's like we go through them so that we can teach. And so I kind of shake my head and laugh ha sometimes, because I'm like, fuck, I know this is a teachable moment. I know this is happening so that I can talk about it later. But man, like, can I learn my lessons a different way? Can I learn them? Can I, like, get the life experience in a different way so it doesn't have to be so chaotic?
That's so funny. Yesterday there was one of our coworkers is such a good teacher. He's so awesome. And someone asked if he was going to help teach the new academy. And he said, no, I like keeping all my wisdom to myself. Which just made me chuckle.
That is funny.
Yeah.
That is funny. All right. So Anna, what color are you at?
I'm like a bright fuchsia.
Okay. And how are things going in the group? Have you done any lives?
No, I'm on a complete standstill because I just stopped because I want to get this business license, and I've made up all these excuses because I'm upper limiting.
Guess what? You don't have to have shit under your belt to make a Facebook Live.
I know it.
That tool is available to anybody with a camera and a phone.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna do it today.
Okay, you can practice your lives in our group. That's what the group is there for. Like, you can just, like, get the mojo flowing, get the floodgates open, and you'll realize, and honestly, like, once you start doing lives and people start participating, I get so jazzed after I do a live. I'm like, it's like I just had a shot of espresso or something. Like, a live for me can really supercharge my own energy. So it gets really exciting. Yeah, it really does.
Well, I had so there's still the Facebook page for the peer support team. It's still just kind of going a little bit. And someone actually sent a message a couple days ago, and I didn't even know that you could get messages, but I just saw it today, and it's a woman reaching out for help. And so I thought that was cool. Exciting.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so that's good.
Yeah, get on the phone with her. Practice a discovery call and get on the phone with her. And it's like whether or not she wants to, work with you one-on-one or whatever it is, just get on the phone with her and just start tiptoeing into it so that you start to learn, because you have to learn through your own experience.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
Yep. All right. Beautiful. So Christina, how was New Orleans? How was it being on stage? Tell us, give us a scoop.
Oh, I'm not on mute. Okay. Well, I'll go backwards a little bit. When I went to go get my luggage because I missed my flight yesterday, I cracked the shit out of my skull. And so I haven't got to take a shower yet, or like I was just like, oh my God, there's got to be blood everywhere. But I have this massive egg on my head. I'm like, so why did that happen? So there's a lot of interesting things happening. Yes, I decided to stay an extra day to do the actual training for the business as well. And so I extended my stay a little bit longer. And then actually, because I didn't want to fly back on the anniversary of Mom's death, which was yesterday. And because convention's always going to be on when she died. It just always is. So I was like, suck it up, Buttercup. Let's just move along here. And so I was boarding the plane like right at the very hour that she passed. And I thought I was going to do okay. And I lost my shit. And it just happened to be this angel girl who's lost her mom too, that I know. She didn't know I was crying. And she had come over to like just talk to me and say, hey. And we started talking. I felt instantly better. And then we stood there and got up in line, and there was 2 flights leaving at the same time. And we stood there talking, and I didn't even know where we were at anymore. It's like we were in this vortex, I do believe. I looked over, the door of our gate was shut, and I saw our plane taking off, like pulling away. And I was like, we're in line for our fucking flight. What's going on here right now? Ran to the gate and we missed it. Like we missed our flight. So we had to buy a whole new flight with a different airline home. And we were in the airport all day long, had the most profound healing conversations, sat with the most amazing people on the airplane rides. We actually were together on all the flights, and it was like divine intervention. And I think our mamas were right there. Like, I don't know how it happened. I don't know how that happened. It's the most effed up, crazy thing in the world. But it is what it is. So I got home late last night, so I'm tired.
So with that, can you also can you accept that you don't need to know?
Yes. Because it was like, yeah.
That I think, Christina, is one of the biggest lessons in all of this, in this whole year, that if you can learn to accept that you don't need to know how, then you can step into the flow. That when you get stuck in your analyzer of how did this to this to this to this, it is an immediate block on all progress. It is an immediate block on all magic. And that's the whole part of trying to figure it out, that it all just goes to hell. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was such an emotional weekend. And I got this amazing advice to just, because I was getting really anxious about going there. And it was just to be an observer, be a light, and breathe. And I did. I just observed how I felt about things and about announcements of things. Somebody had turned me into compliance on my way down there, and the COO called me when I landed in Dallas in my connecting flight to ask me if I was using my position as a millionaire in the company to drop the ball and kick them in the gut and go join a different direct sales company. So that's how that started. That's how it all started. And I was like,
wait, a what sales company?
To take everybody to a different company. And I said, you want me to be honest with you? And he said, please be frank. And I'm like, all right, you're going to get frank. And I got frank with him. And I was like, there's a lot of fucked up stuff going on in the team, and a lot of people are jumping ship, and it's not because of the company, it's because of some of the leadership in there, and it's clearing out. And I wasn't going to come down here because of my own personal stuff, but I decided that I was going to go up there and receive my reward because I deserve it. And I wasn't going to let this other stuff interfere with that, because I would always wonder and regret that. I go, but the thing is, I did want to know what it was going to feel like to go and accept my award. And I go, because I have a interview lined up at the hospital that I used to work at, the job that I retired from for this company, because I don't know if I can, like, I don't know if I want to just let the business go and do something else or what. So I appreciated that he called me though. So it was almost like having that eruption, I guess, and everything leading up to it was good, because there does need to be a cleanup in the company and with myself. So, but being on stage, it was strange, and I was kind of like out of body, and I was just like, whatever. And then I was standing there. We had to stand there forever and ever. And then there's these people in the team. My nemesis, she, I said hi to her when we were standing in line to go and accept our award. She got the award too. And I said hi to her, and she ignored me. And then I said hi to her again, and so she couldn't ignore me. And she was very strange and very awkward. And up on stage, she snarled at me. I was just like, whoa, you are the devil. So you just, I don't have any questions at all about that anymore. But then, I saw these people that I looked at them, and I was like, one I hadn't met before, and I said her name, and she heard me say her name. She had rushed to the front or whatever, and she started bawling. And then another girl, I saw her, and I like waved at her, and she started bawling, and I was like, oh, like, I gotta remember that there's people that really want to be where I'm at, and like, I've let one person sabotage me, and I've let one person.
And who's one person?
Trisha. Me. Yeah. Yeah, I did. That's truly what I actually did. That was like a habit of saying Trisha that I just said right now, because that was my aha moment this weekend, is that I've continued to sabotage myself.
It's when we allow somebody else to have the power over us that says that we are less than. And I know, Christina, this was in like one of the first readings that you and I did about feeling the need to attach to somebody else because you couldn't do it on your own.
Yeah.
And so it's like, yes, the self-sabotage is a reflection of how powerful you can be to stop yourself. Anna's experiencing it right now, upper limiting, the big leap, all of that. Upper limiting is self-sabotage. It's just a different way to say it. It's just an unconscious way that it shows up. So we're unconsciously upper limiting or self-sabotaging ourselves so that we don't have to go forward. I know I have been like fucking barely making it out alive of my own pool of self-sabotage going on over here, but also knowing like, so Audrey left on Friday. She moved back to Las Vegas. Yeah, it was, last week was the most hellish week I've had in years. And we left on great terms. She's still working for me. She's still doing this other stuff. She's like, we are still like, we are sisters. We're good. All this other family stuff is too much. But I don't even know where I was going with that. I totally blanked. Oh, but the reason that she was here, I know 100% was because I had to dig deeper into my mother wounds than I have before, because that shit cannot come with me where I'm going.
Mm.
I was in the medicine ceremony that I was in a couple weeks ago. I was screaming, I hate my mother. I hate my mother. I hate that she is my mother. And like, you guys won't hear the word hate come out of my mouth. Barely ever, because I don't like it. I don't like what that word stands for. And I was just like screaming it at the top of my lungs. And I felt like it was so important and so necessary for it to come out that I had to feel it. And my hip I had my leg in the air. I was like shaking, trying to get the energy out. I called my friend over. I was like, hey, help me. Like, I just gotta like pull this out. So she was doing her energy stuff, helping me pull it out. And I twisted my hips and my hip popped. And I've been working on this in yoga for literally like 3 years. My left hip, it popped. I had the most intense burning shooting pain going down my right leg, and to the point where like I just saw colors shooting out of it. And immediately after, I had the second hardest cry I've ever had in my life, to the point when I went full circle. I hate my mother too. I am so fucking grateful that that woman is my mother, because I would not be half the woman I am today without her. And that's still like, it's still making me cry to say it. But my point in bringing that up, and my point in like even you going down to New Orleans and experiencing this with Trisha and all of it, it's because your path of what it is that you're capable of is not going to allow for any blame, any shame, any victiming of yourself from anybody else. In order for you to be the leader that you came here to be, you must take self-responsibility for the choices. And to my example, to like the nth degree, my choice was that I chose my mother. I chose her. I know that I did. So any sort of bullshit or victim energy, or I hate her sort of like crap, even down to the DNA of her crazy mind, like that I am half of my mother. And so to recognize that I chose all of these things for me to go through in order to become the woman that I know I am here to become. And for the first time in my life in these last couple of months, I can recognize that I am a woman. I know that sounds funny to say, but I feel like I've gone through rites of passage. And I know that I'm saying that to all of us because I see all of us going through this rites of passage that is in each of our own rights. But for me, it is this like womanhood, that I am stepping into being a woman, that I am releasing the little girl, the little teenager, the little angsty stuff that I still had inside of me. And they still come up every now and then, but I had to be able to release it. And what better way than to set an 18-year-old to be with me 24 hours a day for 6 weeks? Like, fuck, man. Love that girl to the end of the world. There's nothing I wouldn't do for her. And still, man, I learned that I am still far away from motherhood.
Right. You would have a lot of years till she got to be 18 and you'd grow into it with your child. And one thing that I felt too, I was just like, I'm just like, even through the observing a lot of stuff, I think I didn't really get into like a full victim thing until I came home and I'm like tired and exhausted. But as I was going through it this weekend, I'm like, all right, this is kind of getting old, being in this, like brewing in this yuck. And so it was almost like being able to sort of step out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So in that observation, on a lighter note and a better note, so I totally agree with what you just said, was that there was more of a philanthropy aspect. Like, you go to these direct sales thing and there's the hype of this and the hype of that. And I'm like seeing this leader say this and this leader say that. And I'm just like, don't resonate. Oh yeah, I resonate with that. And then they're doing more of a philanthropy, like feeding. It's like raised to nourish. And I was getting like full body, like chills and just like feeling it in my heart. And then they go and they announce like the new product. And then my stomach just felt yucky and like burning. So I'm like, I'm excited to kind of explore what that means, because going into that meeting as an observer, I think brought a lot of messages to me that I don't quite understand yet.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I also actually, I'm glad you brought that up, because I in the last week have turned a major corner and quite literally into philanthropy, where I had this idea or this illusion that I had to be a millionaire or I had to have X amount of dollars in order to start donating and able to start, I had to fill my cup to the fullest to be able to start giving. And I've decided that that's not how I want to grow my business, that I want to be giving as I'm growing my business. And I have a friend who I started a retreat company with. She had some sort of lady part cancer in her early 30s, radiation chemotherapy cured it. She has a son with severe autism. And it is like one of the rarest of rare forms of autism. This child has cost them over, like, I'd say when I talked to them a year ago, it was over $300,000 in research studies and scientific stuff that they've had to do for this boy. And for me, I'm like, my friend has hit the jackpot. She has hit the jackpot of ascension. So has this boy. But their journey has been so extraordinary, and the way that they've been able to pay for their medical bills has been through science. And I don't know if you guys have ever been through autistic communities or experienced it. The amount of love, like pure, unconditional, unabashed love that children with autism and even adults with autism bring around in their lives is like the purest of uncut stuff that you can get on this planet. So I have my own theories around autism, and I wrote about it on my blog a long time ago, but I've decided to start donating a portion of the Intuitive Connection Academy to their charity to help support families with autism. And the Intuitive Connection Academy is going to be by donation. So every month by donation, there is an enrollment fee that's bringing people in. And honestly, it feels so good. It feels so good. And I feel like I just took this massive turn around from like recognizing everything that I was taught and knowing that it doesn't feel good, and also seeing what it's doing to my own reputation in this community of healers that is not, you know, money driven people. And I still am going to have Grow Your Soul Centered Business and the Earth Angels, and that's great. But there's been like, I don't know, a huge shift in my heart that's happened also from like the level and depth of forgiveness with my mother. And I know that it's opening these different chambers that's allowing me to see more of who I want to be in the world and how I want to be seen. And the reason that I'm sharing this with all of you is, one, because I know that as I change, my change affects us, specifically because I am leading this. As does your change, your shifts affects us because we are all participating. But there is massive things, and that's kind of why I was looking at just the theme of opening in this class today, because I feel like we are there. There's like the drudging, the just intensity of life is starting to open up, and so there's a softening, there's a breath of fresh air, there's room to breathe. Now, Christina, I love what you said in your comment in our group, that you're pushing through. I love the language in that you're pushing through the personal stuff. And I do want to say, I talked about it a little bit in Transformational Tuesday today about just poof, quite literally, poof. All circumstances are thoughts in our heads, and we quite literally have all the control panel to be able to poof whatever thoughts we don't want in our head. The energy dynamics, the connections that we have in our body, poof, literally can go away. It's that easy, but it takes a while for us to consciously learn that we can do that instantly. What I'll say for my path of growth, what used to take me months and months of wrestling with, now I can sit in the dark by myself or in meditation 20, 30 minutes, maybe even in some cases, you know, a few hours if it's something huge, but I can overcome and move through it and get the lessons and growth much, much more quickly. And so in that process and in that cycle, that's what I want to bring to you all as well, because while this expansion is happening, we must jump on board and ride the wave and use it to our advantage, because that's going to make the process of growth much easier as we go into another Mercury retrograde, because that's kind of the cycle of year. Mercury retrograde happens 3 times. It's a massive contraction or review of what's gone on, and then kind of like a slingshot forward. But in that space where it's opening, that is the best time to be able to process and release. And we're talking even lifetime stuff, even just this lifetime stuff, whatever it is that's coming up. But in that opening, when it's soft and it's airy and it's fluffy, it's the best time to just be like, oh, I don't need that. I don't need that either. Quite literally like clearing out your purse. You're just like, dump it all out. And you're like, okay, I don't need any of these. And just bring with you what is coming forward. The language that you use, Christina, as far as the pushing through, I'm going to do what I can, especially in this meditation, to just show you that you can pull yourself up. Bird's eye view, see what's going on there, and just drop it. You don't have to push through. Healing doesn't have to be tumultuous, keeps coming up. When I, again, first started my healing journey, I was like, if I don't feel it, it isn't real. I was really intense about all of my healing. And then my mentor taught me that I could actually plant my growth period rose outside of my aura so I could experience the growth, but it didn't have to be this like internal constant storm. So we're going to be doing that too, to just help bring some soothing, easeful balm to the healing process. As I've said it before and I'll say it again, Christina, you're working through so much intense stuff. I'm not surprised that you hit your head. It definitely looked like a crown chakra, like realignment sort of thing, that's going to start opening up. And I would be surprised if you didn't start channeling, once that starts to heal and once you allow the emotions to move through. But it feels and looks very divine to me as to why that shift happened, especially since you got stuff going on with your cervical bones and all of that, like all of it. Yeah.
I'm sick and tired of crying all the time. Just, like, sick of it.
Yeah. I hear ya.
I think I did see, I saw a purple energy. I was by myself in the hotel room because Brian left earlier because I decided to stay longer.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of a rectangle and square kind of up at the ceiling. And I was just kind of like, oh my gosh, that's there. And then I got scared. I had this I was just like, okay, that's enough. That's like, I don't want to see anymore. Like, I'm by myself, all alone in New Orleans right now. And that's all I want to see. So I was like, that was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So like that purple energy, I always wonder, I was like, is that my mom or is that Archangel Michael? Or maybe it was both of them, or I don't know.
Yeah, and that's where you can invite them in.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is scary initially because we don't know, right? And what we don't know scares us until we explore it and we figure it out.
Yeah. I told it that it was awesome and I acknowledged it, and I was like, but that's okay, that's all I need. That's all I need right now. But
what I sometimes do with that is I will ask them to like check in with God. And then if they get the okay through God or Archangel Michael, that they can come and visit me in my dreams. And then I can do the work with them in the astral in that way. Whether I remember it or not, I usually will wake up feeling slightly different, like a shift has happened if there was healing that was supposed to take place. But for me, I use Archangel Michael or God as my gatekeepers. If there's an energy that comes in, I'm like, I'm not so sure about this. I can check in with my intuition, or I can just be like, bink, bink, bink. Okay, if they get the okay, they get the clearance, then let's talk. But that's usually my go-to. Christina, what's your color today?
I see like a bright sky blue.
Okay. Go ahead and look the energy of the guy that called you the CFO or the COO, wherever, you know what I'm talking about. Go ahead and see his energy as a color and put a rose outside of your aura that's that color, because you're carrying his energy, and just give it back to him. Just say, thank you for letting me use this. Thank you for the lessons that you've taught me. Thank you for the insight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm happy to give you your energy back. Thank you for letting me borrow it for a little bit. And just whoop, give him that rose back and just send that rose off to him. Or you can blow it up and he'll get it that way. But just, you don't need to be carrying around his shit.
Okay.
You're processing his marriage too. Just go a little bit
Ooh,
deep.
that's funny. I had a suspicion of that. When I saw him again, I was like, what the hell just happened there?
Yeah. You're processing of his marriage. But I'm going to tell you right now, Christina, that has to do with you trying to figure things out.
Yeah. And it was okay.
Yeah. My dad has this nosiness to him that is the most annoying thing in the world. Like, he just has to know and get his nose into everything. And it's like, just mind your fucking business. Because that's how it makes me feel. But that aspect of like that needing to know what's happening will draw other people's stuff into your energy and into your aura so that you have to process it.
Okay.
If you can just allow yourself to be on like if you go on a strictly need to know diet for the next month, it'll reset the programming around like what you believe you need to know about other people. in order to move forward. But it does, it draws people's energy into you, and then you have to process it, and then you don't know why you're upset or why you're crying or why this is happening or this or that. And it's because you've literally asked other people to give you their energy so that you could know what's going on with them, and then it's unconscious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And you know, Facebook
I
doesn't
don't want that. Ooh, I just had like a whoo.
Yeah. Just give
Holy
people
crap.
their facts. That's why we do colors. People are like, why do you do colors? I'm like, because it is the easiest way to give somebody their energy back. You go, okay, I'm blue, you're purple. Bye. Take it. Adios. So even Christina, when you're talking to people on the phone, or even when you're doing a Facebook Live, and Anna, Shauna, this is for you guys too. When you're doing a Facebook Live, you can claim your energy as one color, and then when you're done with that, just blow it up, because people will try to cord into your energy. People will try to like siphon your energy, and it's all unconscious. It's not like they're trying to do it. But when we put ourselves out there like that, it is our responsibility to manage and maintain our space. That is why I teach colors, because it is the most simple, most elementary way to do it. And that's just the bottom line. The bottom line. As Audrey would say, there's nothing under it.
I need to be some kind of reminder. I was thinking about like maybe I need to get a tattoo on my hand or something so I can remember to like bubble my space and stuff in situations, because I know the more I practice it, the more I'll frequently do it. But
you could get a ring.
That's a good idea.
Like a ring that isn't, I mean, I went straight for the tattoos, but you could get a ring. You can get tattoos, whatever.
I'll get a ring. I like that.
Yeah, and just set the intention that that ring is what reminds you to do that.
Cool.
All right, Miss Shauna, how are you doing? What are you doing today? You're all made up.
Oh, I don't know. I have deep set eyes. So when I go back, it looks like I did like some sort of like evening smoky eye, but alas, I just have like deep eyes. Anyway, I still dealing with like a little bit of some mucus, which is really pleasant, and I'm kind of in an interesting kind of, I'm just low energy. I'm feeling kind of stuck ever since coming back from Dallas and really just being sick. I mean, I've been able to do things, you know, I taught a class, and, you know, I did a little photo shoot yesterday, which was really fun, and that was cool. But I'm just trying to get my mojo back. I feel a little drained and a lot ADD. Like I can't seem to really focus on what it is that I need to be doing, or what I feel I need to be doing, or what I choose to be doing. So I'm just kind of observing that a little bit. Today I have a client that Santa Monaco, who's this jewelry designer. So it's kind of not like a high pressure session, but it could be considered that, just because of this person in whom she's connected to. We canceled last week just because I was sick, and I obviously didn't want to expose her. So I'm going to go today, but I mean, there's a part of me that would hope that she would reschedule. And so it's interesting. So that's what that's kind of.
Be careful with that, because you're sending messages of uncertainty to her, and so it's almost like that's setting the energy of where it is that you're going to be when you get to her.
Well, I'm trying to shift that, because like I know it's going to be fine. I'm just I'm just sharing like that. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Like I want my energy back. Like I feel like I'm drained, and I want it back. Yeah.
So a couple things. I would just say commit to going to this. Just, I'm doing this. This is happening. It's going down. Boom. Then the other thing, the entire time you're talking, I was getting messages from your guides, but also just intuitively hearing like minimum sit in meditation for an hour a day, an hour and a half, 90 minutes a day, solid, not 10-minute chunks 9 times, like solid 90 minutes, because that is what's going to reset I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I want to be doing something, but that like specifically, even just for the next 3 days, it's going to change your whole world to just sit within yourself, because you and I both know that that is when you get the most work done. I still go back and forth with myself about I'm not doing anything in meditation, when in meditation is what clears the air for everything else to put one foot in front of the other. So that's take it or leave it.
I'm gonna take it.
Yeah.
And I've had really weird dreams. Like last night, I had a dream about fire. Like the whole, like all of Los Angeles was on fire, or like the central part of Los Angeles was on fire. And I had Luke, and I was trying to get towards Santa Monica and Mar Vista, which is where Mar Vista, where Patty and Barbara lives, who it's like a safe haven for me here. And just it's a lot of fire coming up. And then also yesterday, while on the shoot, the photographer, this bee was trying to attack him randomly. And then when I was leaving my house, there was this huge grasshopper just standing or sitting, perched, perfectly still. And we just kind of looked at each other, and I said, I have to open the gate now. I totally see you on you. And I opened the gate, and the gate went like right over him, and he still didn't even move. He like totally just stayed right there. And so just a lot of this beautiful symbolism from grasshopper energy and bee energy, which are all really good totems, really. I find that curious. And then having some fire dream. So there you go.
Was that photo that you posted yesterday from that shoot?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I loved it.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing it. It was fun. It helps you reconnect.
I've caught it in this moment where my heart was just like a bowl of oatmeal, super mushy. I was like, everything's wonderful.
I love it. No, I felt it was the truth. It helped. I want to meditate around jasmine, or because flowers is a way in which I commune a lot, like just smelling them and connecting. So I was glad I was able to put that out. And thank you for your sweet message.
What's your color today?
Lavender.
Lavender. All right. I feel a channel opening up, so I'm just going to go ahead and share what it is with you ladies that is meant to come through today. You're welcome to keep your eyes open or keep your eyes closed. I do ask, though, that if you close your eyes, that you keep your feet flat on the floor and do your best to stay present. I do see Christina and Anna, I do see the propensity for you to pop in and out of your body. Know that that is okay. It's not a bad thing. Don't try to struggle to keep yourself in your body. Just make sure you don't go too far away. Sometimes we have to leave our body in order to receive new information. And so just be aware of that as we just kind of follow the lines of what is coming through for us today. I'm just going to say the prayer one more time. So as we call in divine truth and love into the sacred space, we invoke the highest possible healing for each and every earth angel and myself. We ask for the courage and compassion to speak and to hear from the purest form of self-love and forgiveness to all involved. All right, so saying hello to the ladies that are within this circle, recognizing and owning your true divine potential and not the fluffiness of what those words mean, but to really and truly connect in with the divinity within your heart, that the divinity inside of your heart is directly connected to your angel wings, to the angelic realm. There's a reason that you are here in this time and place now, and that reason is for you to own into your ascension. You are your reason for being. You chose to come here for a very specific reason that has nothing to do with anybody else. Your ascension is the priority, that as you step into your growth, recognizing and knowing that your path of service is for you to blossom into the role of the angelic realm that you are meant to be living in. It is a blessing and a gift that you can be an angel in a body in this time period in the world that we are living in, as it shifts and grows and opens and changes, that it is important for you to stand your ground and also know that you can soar and that you can fly above any circumstance and any situation, that the wings that you have on your back are not there as an illusion, that the wings that you have there on your back are there by means of true shape and reality, that as you learn to open your wings, you can clear spaces, you can open doors, you can heal people from afar just by simply touching them with the energy of your wings, knowing that these wings are a superpower for you, that with that superpower, it does come with a list of responsibilities, and that list of responsibilities is what it is that you are growing into now. That's why the world can feel dense and tired sometimes. That's why your body can feel dense and tired sometimes. So as you open yourself up to releasing the physical densities in your body, take a moment right now to simply breathe in slowly in through your nose and exhale slowly out through your nose, recognizing that as you control the rhythm of your breath, you are creating a pressure inside your body. That pressure inside your body is going to start to break up densities from the inside out. And those densities are what is going to be creating that struggle. So recognize and know, are you attaching yourself to the struggle? The key here is that the ego wants to identify, the ego wants to trap these struggles or these pain points or these patterns of awareness into the body, because that is your so-called identity. So when you release the role of playing the victim, or when you release the role of playing, whatever role you're stepping into, whatever archetype you're into that day, your identity is and will change. You will not be the same person you are now when you grow into the woman that you are meant to be. The entire embodiment, the entire identity that you are gripping onto and holding onto so tight right now must die in order for you to step into the woman that you are meant to be, recognizing and knowing that your spirit, your personality is an ever evolving, ever fluid expression of your own divine self. And with that, all personality aspects and personality types that are within you will transmute to the highest vibrational frequency that allows room for your channel to come through, for your highest self to experience the embodiment of the physical form. And in order to do that, you must purge and release, connect in with your grounding core down to the center of the planet and release. And release. Go ahead and put your palms face up on your lap. You can go ahead and rub your palms together. Open up your hands, chakras, get them nice and warmed up. So know that you have chakras in the palms of your hand. You have chakras in the tips of your fingers. Opening your palm chakras and allowing the energy from the archangel, whichever archangel you see in front of you right now. Go ahead and allow your energy to be connected to this angel as you experience a healing from the angelic realm. That this energy, this healing, will open you up to the next step, the next level of your own divine potential by helping to soften. Remembering that you can soften, release, and soften to release, and soften to release. And allow that new energy to come in through your body and through your arms, softening any densities, releasing any knots, any pain points. And just observe as that energy flows through your body. And maintain that softness. as you continue to release. And just be honest with yourself. Where is it that you are holding on to? Where is it that you are not allowing yourself to fully surrender, to fully soften? And bring an extra dose of loving, angelic energy to that space. Letting that aspect of yourself that is diving in fully and completely, that aspect of yourself that is gripping, go ahead and acknowledge and love and release. And acknowledge and love and release. So see what you see. Notice what you notice as you change these things about yourself. As you agree to allow your higher self and the consciousness of your heart to speak loudly. That is the consciousness of your heart, slowly, easefully, very lovingly, silences the voice of your ego, allowing your ego to take a break in this moment so that your heart may lead. As you allow your heart to lead, you will see that there is a treasure inside of there for you. That there's a treasure that goes beyond all measure. That there's a treasure that honors the depths of your own soul's recognition. That the woman that you are on your deathbed already exists inside of your heart. That the woman that you are 5 years from now already exists inside of your heart. The woman that you are in your days of retirement already exists in your heart. Allow this woman to lead the way because your internal wisdom is there for you. You already know the best path for you. We are here as guides for each other to help reflect so that we can peel the layers away so that you may see yourself right now in the present form, in 5 years and 10 years on your deathbed more clearly. Go ahead and take a look at yourself in the last 5 years. What in the last 5 years would you have told yourself to do differently? It's beautiful and admirable to say, I wouldn't have changed anything because it makes me who I am. And that's beautiful and that's wonderful. And let's just throw that voice aside for a moment and really look at, if you could have made yourself better in the last 5 years, would you have? So acknowledge that as you choose to step into and honor the path of connecting in with your higher self, that your higher self is exactly that voice. It's exactly that voice inside of yourself that is showing you at every turn how to live in your ease and your grace, that even as it feels like the world is crumbling below your feet and there's nothing that you can control, let it break. You are your highest self. You are the embodiment of your divine perfection. Go ahead and set the intention to increase the frequency of your vibration. And don't get caught up in what that means. Just simply give yourself permission to increase the vibration of your frequency and just simply feel. Go ahead and ask the archangels also to bring you up to a frequency that is of your highest potential in this moment. Just simply feel as you recognize that these other energies that are no longer serving you must fall away. And we'll give ourselves a few minutes here to just work some self-healing. So go ahead and just climb into your own body and work the energy that your higher self intuitively knows what to do here. And just explore what that means and what that looks like for yourself. And so go ahead and look at the word, the vibration of acceptance. How willing are you to accept your path? How willing are you to accept yourself? And all of your beauty, and all of your glory, and all of your deceit, and all of your darkness. How willing are you to open yourself back to love? The origin from whence you came. And connect again with a brand new grounding cord. Drop the old one that you were using, create a brand new one. You're recognizing that even as you are feeling the good feelings, the bliss feelings, the awakening feelings, give yourself a moment to tune into that for yourself as well. And recognizing that it is important to allow those to pass through, to release attachment from all energy, from all experiences, knowing that what is meant for you will come to you at exactly the right moment. And it is best to learn to continue to stay in flow. That calling in even good feelings can create stagnancy. And so releasing. So let's go ahead and put a rose out there in the center of our periwinkle container today. And go ahead and just add into it any and all things that you are getting rid of. And I'm going to go ahead and unmute everybody, and we're just going to go ahead and go around and around until we feel that we have let go of all things that we are releasing. Okay, Anna and Christina, you're going to have to unmute yourself because for some reason I'm not able to. So looking at that rose in the center of our periwinkle container, Shauna, you want to go ahead and start? And just what is it that you are releasing into that?
Um, I have a lot of resistance around that. Can you come back to me?
Absolutely. Miss Anna?
I'm releasing stuck energy. It looks like a dam. Maybe like the Hoover Dam.
All right, and so go ahead and everyone just do a body scan and see where are you holding stuck energy, and offering gratitude and appreciation for Anna for bringing that into the space so that you can see it within yourself in order and to be able to release it. All right, and Christina, what is it that you are releasing into the center healing rose? We'll call it the rose of transmutation.
I'm releasing the old story. I'm releasing the voices of negativity. I'm releasing the pain that gets trapped in those areas of my body. I am releasing my blocks. I am releasing my layers. I am releasing the like the gunk, the thin layer, the thin, strong, transparent layer that looks, it's so deceiving because it doesn't even, it actually is a block, but it's clear and it's sticky and it's thick and it's, I release it. And the victim, the old story, and the tears, it's done with it. I release it.
Woo!
Fuck. Yeah.
All right, so let's all go ahead and do a body scan and see where in any of those words as they were coming out of Christina's mouth were you triggered? Were you recognizing, ooh, I can let go of that too. I can let go of that too. Remembering that as we do this, it is for you to focus on you and you only. You're here to heal with each other, not for each other. So recognizing your color, staying true to your color today. And go ahead and let all that gunk that got triggered into that rose of transmutation. Remembering that as we heal ourselves together, the energy is amplified, multiplied. Beautiful.
The shame. Sorry, the shame. Release the shame.
It's funny that you say sorry right after shame. Ha 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 ha. No need to feel shameful of saying what more you need to say. Let it come out. All right, so I'm releasing hatred of greed. I'm releasing hatred of thinking that I need to be somebody different than who I am in order to make an impact. I'm releasing garbage, muck, trash, trashy thoughts, trashy ideas, trashy clothes. Just releasing the trash from my life. And Miss Shauna, what is it that you're adding to this rose of transmutation?
I am releasing a lot of shame, and I release the need to have something to addiction. I'm releasing me not good enough. I am releasing the guilt of any actions or inactions that I have done in the past. Self-blame. I also release my fear of persecution.
Woo! Giggle after that one, Shauna. Giggle. Just giggle. Just giggle. There you go. All right. So, Miss Anna. Yeah, go for it.
I don't know if what this means, Shauna, but I just like, as you were saying that, I got really emotional, and I just felt this like peachy, like even soft like a peach, like this peachy coral pale energy that was like soft and velvety, just like enveloping you and like wrapping around you as you said that. So I think that was, it seemed comforting.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And Miss Anna, what else are you releasing? Let it in there.
I'm releasing the fear of what other people think of who I am.
Woo!
Yes.
Yes.
I'm also releasing my upper limits in every aspect of my life.
The hello I'm getting on that is to acknowledge your lower limits. That it's important for you to raise your lower limits to see your upper limits too, whatever way that means, but to pay attention to those as well.
Lower limits. Cool.
Yeah. For me, that looks like giving myself permission to stay up later than I should be if I want to wake up at 6 o'clock to sleep. The permissions of what I give myself excuses to do just because I want to. So that's what it looks like for me, but lower limits, interesting concept. All right, so let's all take another moment to body scan and just purge and purge and purge. At this point, we should all have a pretty nice, healthy flow moving into that rose of transmutation, and recognize and know that we are safe here, that we are protected and guarded by the archangels, that they are holding space of separation and also unity for us. I also am holding space for Miss Leah. I see her at a tangerine orange. I see Leah releasing, again, upper limits, lots of upper limits, confusion, distraction. I'm seeing Leah releasing a lot of just lower vibrational stuff in the root chakra around survival, what it means to survive, how to be independent. I'm seeing patterns of codependency being released, and really being able to walk in and stand in true pride of independence. And independence doesn't mean alone. Independence means staying in one's truth in unison with others. So finding that independence, also releasing anything attached to the illusion of neededness, where we must feel needed and where we think that we need others as well, that there is beauty in independent convergence with others. So releasing that codependency. I'm looking also at the illusionary lies that we tell ourselves to create something better than what we know is, or less than what we know is possible for ourselves. So saying hello to that. And Christina, well, let's take a couple big deep breaths, and then Christina, you're up again. Your turn round two.
I let go of that confusion and that distraction of the game that's playing around me, and that of the energy that's flowing into and out of my body. So I let go of the confusion the game that plays with my analytical mind. I let go of that confusion. I let go of that confusion. I let go of that confusion. I just feel like that's pulling out, like just pulling out and pulling out and pulling out right now. It's like.
So what I'm going to do with that in response is, let's go ahead and bring that transmutation rose about 10 feet above the center of our circle. And let's go ahead and start spinning that rose counterclockwise, and just allow it to, almost like spinning thread or spinning twine. Go ahead and just see the energy that is being pulled out of you just being spun so that you can stay in non-effort, allowing that rose to do what it is meant to do. I also see an aspect of my dragon self actually up there, working that energy and pulling the matching frequencies out of each of us. I'm seeing it actually being pulled out on a core spinal level. It looks like there's an energy that is a match through some of our spinal discs, through the spinal column that is being released, that is part of that soul group agreement that we have to heal ourselves at that frequency, at that level. So if you feel like your spine needs to move around, you need to wiggle it a little bit, go for it. Ooh, let your body realign, knowing that as you release energy, it's realigning where it needs to be. Woo!
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, for real. Giggle with me, ladies. Giggle, giggle, giggle. See up.
Har, har, har.
Oh, as I always say, frequency leaves surreal and music. That's why ha 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 is one of the most powerful tools you could ever know.
I like saying har to har because it always makes me go ha ha. It makes me giggle.
I picture the dance that you have that goes along with that, which brings me joy. So thank you.
You're welcome. I really know this. So.
Okay, again, release the grounding cord you're using and draw yourself a new one. Create a brand new one. Create one at a new frequency. Make it bigger this time, because at this point the energy is moving through our bodies at a really rapid pace, very quickly. My legs are jiggling. I'm not usually a leg jiggler, but just recognize and let your body do what it needs to do in order to release what it needs to release. Wiggle, shake, yawn, cry, jiggle, whatever it is, let it go. All right, and then as you're watching your body releasing, go ahead and see the color, the color of the energy that your body is releasing. And outside of your space, maybe outside of the room that you're sitting in, go ahead and visualize those roses coming out that color and blow them up just as fast as you create them. So just create, destroy, create, destroy, create, destroy, create, destroy, create, destroy. It's going to help you move through that energy much more quickly. When you create it, you're creating it from an internal aspect of self. When you picture it outside of your body, you're pulling it out and you're allowing that energy to move freely and quickly out of your body. It's just going to speed up this process of release. So that, again, is why we look at color. You don't have to know the backstory. You don't have to know why it's there. You don't have to go through the catalog of understanding. You can quite literally just set the agreement and tone that you're ready to release when you're ready to release. And it can be as simple as looking at colors and also just going poof. Ah. Now go ahead and visualize, and this is going to be kind of funny, so hopefully it makes you laugh, but go ahead and visualize yourself just taking a massive, giant, internal and energetic dump, this right out down through your grounding cord, and letting it come from the core of your own existence, because that's big right now is not at the level of which it is, again, that you are going. So let that release. If you need help to do that, go ahead and call on any of the archangels, the one you're feeling in resonance with now. Great job. Keep going. Go ahead and feel that until you can open your crown and allow yourself to connect fully in with the center of the sun. And as you're connecting in with the center of the sun, Allow the golden light energy to flow through, down through your crown, through your center of headspace, filling, healing, and clearing. This is also the location of your analyzer, so clearing out your analyzer, allowing that golden ray of light to go down through your throat, down your spinal column, filling your spinal column completely and clearing you out from your core, bringing in only of the highest vibrational potential that you can access right now, knowing that your frequency is exactly that. It is yours, so you can allow it to open up for you. And as you allow it to open up for you, recognize that you are filling yourself of the gaps that you have just released. Anything else that anyone wants to bring into the space of that which you are releasing? Any final words on that? All right, beautiful.
Can I share something that I don't understand that's happening?
Yep.
When I'm bringing it down, this has happened the last few times when I've been meditating. It's like when I'm bringing that energy down and through and it gets into here, like into my sinuses, I feel pressure and I almost smell like a, not a sulfur smell, but it's, there's a pressure and there's a burn that goes in here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll have a lot of pressure here, so just like soreness, but as it goes through, it has like a metallic-y smell too.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely, it's energy that's being pushed out. It's energy that's coming through. It's energy that is being released, similar to what Sean is experiencing right now, different level. The smell is your clairalience. So the clairalience is your ability to smell energy. Shauna has that one pretty good too. Mine shows up every now and then, but I kind of don't like it, so I turn it off. But yeah, you can open that up and allow that to come through. As you were speaking, what I was hearing is neti pot. It'd be really important for you to do like a twice a day neti pot regimen to just clear out that space, because it is going to manifest as physical mucus and start coming out. And so the more you can neti pot, the more you can clear it out. You're going to just help your physical form release it, because it's kind of hard to get stuff out of our head. But the neti pot is something that works, because you're also giving yourself, the ritual of doing it is you're giving yourself permission to release what it is that's there. And so your energy form and your physical form will start breaking that energy down rather than keeping it stuck there.
And you can bless the water of the neti pot prior to putting it in with that intention of cleaning out. That also can be helpful.
Beautiful. All right, so let's go around again. What it is that we are calling in, what it is that we are filling ourselves back up with. And Shauna.
Clarity, discernment, energy, health, divine and perfect health.
Beautiful. And Miss Anna?
Balance, happiness, fierce energy.
Beautiful. And Miss Christina, what are you bringing in?
I'm bringing in truth and words of the highest good and for the highest good. And unconditional love into every part of my being, and the expression of unconditional love that, channeling through me always. And joy. Conduit of unconditional love.
Beautiful. I'm bringing in the willingness to surrender, the courage to act on my intuition when I hear her speaking to me. Bringing in the energy of forgiveness, self-forgiveness through change. Bringing in the energy of readiness, that I am ready to take my next step and I am willing to step into that. That is my true divine calling. I acknowledge my growth and path to see myself and others more clearly through the eyes of our hearts. Miss Shauna, anything else you want to add in? We'll go around one more time.
I call in my willingness to accept the divine potential of my own illumination. And I call in the fortitude energy of consistency. I also bring in the energy of absolute abundance in all forms, as well as the highest vibration of energetic protection, so that all that is positive and loving may come to me, but things that are not of my highest good do not cross my path.
Oh. All right, Miss Anna, what is it that you are calling in and bringing in as well?
I'm calling in the ability to hear my intuition with ease. And I'm calling in for the clear vision of the future steps to take in creating this business.
I'm also seeing a connection to Archangel Michael, where Archangel Michael is attempting to speak with you and attempting to talk with you on a more regular basis. So just simply saying hello to that.
Okay.
I'm almost seeing a resistance to the energy of Archangel Michael because of how much male energy you are surrounded by often. And recognize that Archangel Michael is a balance of masculine and feminine energy. And that will be a great way for you to be able to gauge and learn the balance that it is that you're calling in as well.
Is there anything that I can do that will help me better receive his message?
Planting flowers in a flower pot.
Perfect timing.
That was very clear. There's something about the soil and the flower. It's almost like the soil representing divine masculine, the flower representing divine feminine, and one cannot exist without the other, that there is balance in the two. And so there's a beauty in the divine union of that. And thank you for bringing this into that space so that we can all see that. All right, and Miss Christina.
Call in clarity. I call in clarity for my purpose and keeping me in line with my purpose, and I call in more ease of this healing process and journey and staying in line with that, where the ability to recognize it, acknowledge it, and let it fall away like an old scab, rather than may the scabs fall off quickly and not get ripped off and have so much pain in them, but that healing to come quickly so the scab falls away with ease in a faster time frame. And
the discernment along the way, and the ability to stay focused in that and not distracted with the call and the protection to not take on other people's thoughts of me and the lens that they see me through, of their own distorted perception of what is my truth. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but it makes sense to me and it feels good. And I bring in the ability to feel other people's thoughts and feelings of what I perceive to be about me. I bring in protection from that. Like a fucking warrior, standing through and deflecting it as it comes. That no weapon formed against me shall prosper. That is it. Boom. That feels good. Ooh.
All right, beautiful.
Something feels, can you help me out with that?
Go ahead and body scan yourself.
Yeah.
Call in one of the archangels.
Mm-hmm.
And remind yourself that you know exactly how to heal yourself. That you know exactly how to move energy through your body. That what it is that you are clinging onto is also your own defense. And so in calling in unconditional love and defense at the same time are a dichotomy. They are contracting messages.
Yeah.
So being aware that what it is that you are calling in for yourself is also not integrated. And so as you call in those energies of defense, that you are creating a polarization in your own growth process.
Yeah.
And so the alignment, leaving other people out of this, other people have nothing to do with your growth. Not one person outside of you has anything to do with your growth. Your growth is yours. Yes, we influence each other. Yes, we are on this path with each other. But recognizing that how you experience growth is yours. And bring yourself back into alignment with your true calling, that unconditional love that you were first calling in. And that was a clear example of when being in your heart is in one place and being in your head is in a completely different place. And just recognize it for observation and for learning.
Wow.
Being
I
in
want to let go of that. It's holding me. I know that's something that's holding me back a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. I see this like.
So what I would invite you to do is observe it. You know that it's there, so it's not going to go anywhere. But the more you fight it and the more you battle it, the more control it has over you.
Okay.
And so approach it with the eyes of curiousness. And Anna, this is 100% completely in line for you as well with looking at the judgments of others. And I mean, for all of us, but really looking at that energy because it already exists in your space. So the more you actually give yourself permission to become familiar to it and to explore why it is that it is in your space, not from a place of shame or self-judgment or self-punishment of why can't I let this go, but just in a space of this is interesting. I'm here to learn about myself. There's no judgment there. It's just pure honesty. What is it that you are protecting? Because ultimately that's what this is about. It's that there is an aspect of yourself that you are protecting that you do not want to have exposed or you do not want to be seen. For myself, that was my history of partying. I didn't want those pictures to get out. I didn't want anyone to talk about it. I wanted to pretend that that didn't exist. So I would protect myself with the illusion that I was worried that other people would think poorly of me if they saw that. That's not true. The people who think poorly of me because of my past is on them. It's not on me. But for years, for a while, I tried to hide that that existed. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to let people know. I didn't even want to talk to people about me being sober. So there's somewhere deep internally, there is something that you are protecting yourself, the illusion that you're protecting yourself from, that you don't want other people to see. And the reason for that being that you have not found the acceptance within yourself for it yet. So the way that you are going to release this is to actually accept that it is there in the first place. Can't push it out, we can't fight it out, we can't cut it out. It will manifest again. So we must look at that for what it is that you have to share.
And then resonates and makes total and utter and complete sense. And then it's like, well, let's get to it and find out what it is. Because like a few different things pop into my head.
And so that is going to be your meditation time.
Okay.
All right, so let's go ahead, and before we close this out, let's go ahead. I'm going to teach you the technique of grounding your growth period, because there is no doubt that the work we've done today is going to throw you into a growth period. Ha ha ha. So let's go ahead and create and build what I like to call a growth period garden. So this is a space that is outside of your aura, and you could design it however it is that you want. Now, sometimes our growth periods can manifest on top of each other, so that as we were going through one growth period, other ones start coming through and everything starts to get a little bit crazy. So the one way that I have learned to separate my growth periods so I can experience one at a time, even simultaneously, but that they're not dependent on the other one. And sometimes you will have a rose bush rather than a single rose. But the way that I have done it is that I have pots in my rose garden, and that these pots each within themselves hold a single rose. And so you can go ahead and plant this rose garden however you see it to be. And you don't even have to have a rose garden. You can just simply acknowledge and set the intention that you're putting your growth period rose outside of your aura, so that you may experience your growth. Your spirit is experiencing the growth, so that when you sleep, you can integrate. And it doesn't have to be as tumultuous and bumpy throughout your day-to-day. That your emotions may smooth out, that your thought process may smooth out, that you may continue to have the energy to take care of yourself in the way that you need to take care of yourself, and just allowing that energy to flow into that rose, knowing that your higher self is taking care of the growth as well. Now, your responsibility is to make sure that you're drinking plenty of water, that you are getting to bed at a decent hour, that you are waking up at a decent hour, that you're paying attention to your basic body needs, your bodily needs. And that's what's going to help this process cycle through in full ease. All right, so looking at this rose of transmutation, wow, how many different shapes, colors, forms did this rose take during this process? I'm going to go ahead and simply ask my dragon, Shirley, as well as Archangel Michael, to alchemize the energy that is in this rose of transmutation, the highest vibrational frequency, to infuse the heart of our Earth Angels program with the energy that we have released, that we have transmuted into that unconditional love, that highest vibrational expression of our divine God, the God that connects all living beings. Spirit, energy, matter, all of the above, allowing that energy to be connected through the heartbeat of the Earth Angels program. Now, I have a physical place for that. I have a crystal ball that is in my office in which that energy will be stored. You are always welcome to tune into that energy whenever you need be. But there is a connection for all of us as we go through this process. And the love and the light that radiates from the core of our own existence, from the core of our own heart, will be that which allows for the freedom of bliss, the freedom of life, the freedom of creation. So give yourself full permission to focus on your light this week. That when you feel the moment is right to share your light, it will be your moment to share your light. All right. So let's go ahead and acknowledge a lavender rose for Shauna, a bright sky blue rose for Christina, a bright fuchsia rose for Anna, a sparkle fuchsia rose for myself, a tangerine orange rose for Leah. Just acknowledge these colors as they dance around each other. As we share in celebration that we have found each other once again to go on this journey. The lines, the bonds have been set. Now honoring the divine truth of your own potential, the divine truth of your own soul, and allowing your heart to speak loudly and first. Let's go ahead and blow up those roses, giving everyone their energy back. Honoring gratitude and appreciation to each and every one of the archangels, Archangel Zadkiel, Uriel, Sandalphon, Archangel Michael, and Shirley. Offering gratitude and appreciation to Archangel Raziel as well. Knowing that our healing together may be coming to a completion in this call, and that the healing is in a time-released sort of manner. So knowing that you will be continuing to feel the process of energy shifting through your body, drink water and sit in silence more. That is what is going to ease this process of your growth, bring clarity and insight to your practice. So let's go ahead and recognize that periwinkle blue rose. That is our class color today. Thanking this color for holding space for us as we release and connect together and grow independently in unity. All right. Let's go ahead and blow that up. As we go forth, may we integrate the healing and the lessons received with courage, self-love, and compassion. Our healing here is complete. Whew, amen.
Yeah.
Woo! Good class, ladies.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Remember, if anything comes up, do lives in the group, lean on us. whatever it is, we're here together, awake, aware, present. All right. Have a wonderful week. And remember, surrender and soften into the expansion because it's happening.
That was a beautiful meditation, Samantha, and it saved me the other night when I was alone in the hotel room. So thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome, my lovelies. Mwah.
Love you all. Thank you.
Bye.